we are gonna start laying down with a folded up blanket or a block under the spine. So if you're using a block, you can have it like this right below. Here's where sort of the points are on my shoulder blades, so it's right below that, sort of at the bra line if you wear a bra. And if you're using a folded up blanket, you want to show that?
Well, there's a couple ways you can put it, I guess. One is kind of in the same area where you have the block, like this, kind of long ways. Also, sometimes people like to take them and make them more this way.
So whichever way feels most comfortable for you, we're going to start off in this heart opener here. And if you want, you can have the feet wide, like mat's width distance, knees bent and knocking against each other like this. This is just knock knee posture, real gentle and easy on the hips. If you feel like your hips are already pretty open to begin with, you can actually bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out to the side. And at this point, if you have a couple blocks free, you can put blocks under your knees here to support your knees, or just kind of keep the feet, this is tight for me, keep the feet far from the body and let the knees fall open naturally. And the third option for your legs is just plain old shavasana legs with the legs straight out from the hips. Arms can be down by your sides, they can rest on your belly here, or they can be up overhead, maybe grabbing one wrist with the other hand. So whatever feels most comfortable for you here in this heart opening posture, we're just going to hang out here for a few breaths. Inhaling deeply, maybe feeling your belly rise as you inhale, and exhaling completely, feeling your belly come back down. And as we lay here with our hearts wide open like this, just accept any feelings that come to you, any funny thoughts or sensations. It's all part of the plan. Not my plan. Maybe the universe's plan for your feelings today. And when you're ready, if your legs are out straight in front of you or your feet are together and your knees are bent, feel free to draw the knees slowly up, bringing the soles of the feet flat down on the mat here. And we're just going to roll off to one side for a second to remove the block or the blanket, and then roll back onto our backs. So coming into this resting posture, maybe arms are out in a T shape, so arms are coming straight out from the shoulders, knees are bent, feet are together. And let's just let the knees gently rock side to side for just a second, warming up into a twist. Breathing deeply. And next time your knees rock over towards the left side, let them stay there and look over your right shoulder. So a real loose supine spinal twist here. If you want to take your left hand and place it on the outside of your right knee, that's fine. You can even bring the knees up closer to your chest to really get a nice sort of, how would I call this? Like a torque almost? What would you say?
You bring the knees
It's
up.
like if you're pulling your hand and your arm, your left hand back, you get this extra.
You get an extra twist.
A little bit extra there. We all can do with a little bit of extra when it comes to twisting, I think. Again, feeling your belly rising and falling with the inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, arms can come back out into a T and we'll come back onto our backs. You can push down on your feet to lift your hips and make sure your spine is straight here. And then let's bring the knees up towards the chest and let them fall over now to the right. So I'm gonna look out over my left shoulder. I'm trying to keep both my shoulders connecting to the mat here. I probably should have said on the other side too. But if you want to take this twist a little deeper, you can take your right hand and put on the outside of the left knee, drawing the knees up closer to your chest. What are you going to teach next?
What am I gonna teach next?
Sometime we should get to standing.
Well, let's roll back onto our backs, hug our knees in, and let's rock up and down.
Ooh, I like it.
Working our way towards seated. And then let's just come up to standing.
All right, so if
Actually,
you
if you want,
can,
we can even rock up to standing.
get some momentum here, and then maybe keeping the feet slightly wide. We'll come into the spot. And then bring yourself up to standing. And unless you have a standing agenda.
I have one particular standing agenda right now, and that is to bounce.
Yes! Awesome. All right, we're bouncing. It's official.
Great. That was working. So just bounces. If you're feeling,
What do we call this? A casual bounce?
you can do a casual bounce.
Just
It's
casual bounce. Something totally casual about this bounce today. But within your casual bounce, do keep the bounce in the hips more than in the shoulders. The shoulders will bounce by default. That's fine, but don't, bring them up to the ears and let them drop. We're really keeping the bounce low in the body. If it helps to take your feet kind of wide for this, might help keep it extra low for your casual bounce.
Alrighty, and then let's do a little bit of twisting. So you can take this bounce and start to turn it into a twisting bounce.
Maybe a casual twist.
Sure.
It's all very casual today. You got a nice tingle hat.
It's because I got my hair stuck in the doorstop and I was doing the rock.
Very casual hairstyle, very casual bounce and the casual.
So now let's just stop. We can take it from just bouncing and twisting to just twisting. So you can kind of stop bouncing and just start twisting side to side. Let the hips face forward. And so we're, just kind of twisting the upper body. So now I'm hitting more things back on the wall. And then, where was I? Oh yeah. So now we're gonna continue twisting. Let's take the hands up to about chest height. Take the palms out flat, like you're skimming water. We're gonna add a breathing exercise in here. We're gonna inhale as we twist to the right. Exhale with a shh as we twist to the left. So like this. Continuing that breathing. Turn the forearms up, goalpost arms. Trying to keep the shoulders relaxed though. Continuing that breathing. Let's take the arms out and down at about waist height. So let's start to gently come back to center so you just let things kind of flop. And feel free to shake it out. Always feel free to shake it out between anything and everything we do.
You want me to take a turn?
Sure.
All right. Well, we did our little casual balance and our casual and not casual twisting, but let's get into even more twisting. So feel free to take the feet fairly wide, bending the knees, making sure the knees don't come out over the ankles, but kind of are just above the ankles or maybe just inside I'm gonna put the palms of my hands on the knees, fingers facing in, inhaling my spine nice and long here, exhaling and twisting to one side. Inhaling back to center, exhaling, twisting, and we'll just continue with a semi-casual twist.
And then you can come back to center. Let's interlace the hands. Let the upper body hang down. We'll do
And
it.
let's turn the feet so that they're parallel to each other, just so that we don't throw ourselves down as we do this.
And we're gonna inhale, swing the arms up, maybe the hips come forward. Exhale, ha, ha, coming down. Take it at your own pace.
As you inhale up, feel free to let the hips come a little forward here, like that. So you get a little stretch through the front of the hips here. We just want to let them come forward briefly. It's nothing we want to stay in too long. And next time you fold forward, just stay there. You can toe heel the feet closer to each other so that they may be about hips width distance. And we'll just hang out here in that forward fold for a second. So if your hands aren't reaching the ground, that's totally okay. You can either keep them on the shins as you do your forward fold, or you can bend the knees, have them come to the ground that way. If your hands do reach the ground easily, or if you have your knees bent, try walking the fingers forward just a little bit so that more of your weight is on your toes and the metatarsal, that's the balls of the feet right by the toes here. And just kind of see what that does to the back of the legs. You can experiment with straightening one knee, straightening the other if your knees are bent here. That's your hamstrings you're feeling at the back of the legs here going, oh, excuse me, oh. And then at this point, feel free to walk your hands back, whether knees are bent or straight, doesn't matter, and put your hands on your ankles here and really lean the hips back so that the weight is now all on the heels of the feet. And just sort of see what that feels like. And then from here, walk the hands a little forward again back so the weight is on the balls of the feet. And then a little back so the weight is on the heels. And then find that place that's right in the middle, where you have your weight equally distributed between the balls of the feet and the heels of the feet. And then from there, we'll just fold forward. If you want to interlace the fingers behind your back, and then lift the arms away from the back, helping you to sort of fold even deeper forward here, that's totally fine. And then when you're ready, hands can come back down towards the ground, and we'll just slowly roll ourselves back up to standing. Maybe grabbing one more casual bounce when we get to standing. And I really would like to warm up our hips a little bit right now before I forget. This is the one that's so good for me and I always forget to do it. So if you have a block and you want to use it, and you don't have to use it, you can bring it right next to the wall here. And we're just going to stand behind it. I'm going to have a hand on the wall. You can do this in the middle of the floor if you want. We're going to bend one knee. If you're by the wall, bend the knee that's further away from the wall. And grab the ankle with the same hand. So in my case, I've bent my left knee. I'm grabbing my left ankle with my left hand. From here, I'm going to draw the knees together, tuck the tail. Woo! And already I'm feeling that through the front of my bent leg here, my left leg. That's my quadricep that I'm feeling that in, the front of the thigh. And then I'm going to let go of that ankle and start drawing little circles here with my knee. So I'm rotating from the hip socket, and these little circles can spiral out to bigger and bigger circles. If you see, I'm actually doing some kind of crazy dance. I'll show you from the front. Let's see if I can do this without falling down. Ooh, that looks totally nuts. So I'm doing this wild dance as I do this to really explore space. And then when you're ready, we'll switch directions. So maybe starting with little circles and then working your way into these wild, big kicks. Exploring space. And then, this is when the block comes in handy. I'm going to step on the block with the leg that was standing, and then the leg that was spinning around, I'm just going to swing it back and forth and hope I don't kick Brian. If I do, I don't know. That might be the end of refuge yoga as we know it. So I'm going to try not to. He's very temperamental. Just kidding, he's not temperamental. I'm the redhead after all, in disguise. So as you see too, you can get your arm involved here, and we're staying with this a little longer than we usually do because it's a release for the psoas muscle amongst other things. Just letting the legs swing like this, using momentum here. I mean, you don't want to sit too hard into your standing legs hip, so draw yourself up tall as you do this. But really just allow for a loose, casual swing, if you can. Casual swinging. Who would have thought? And then when you're ready, we'll just shake that leg off, shake everything off, get a casual bounce in if you like, and we'll do the other side. So this time I'm going to turn around and face the other way, and I'm bending my right knee, grabbing my right ankle with my right hand, drawing my right knee in towards my left, then tucking the tail, even if it's like a millimeter of tuck. That's still something, and you probably still feel it on the front of your hams, of your quad here. In my case, my right quad. In Brian's case, his left quad. And then from here, we'll start doing little circles with our knee, then exploring space, bigger and bigger circles. And then we'll go the other way. So little circles spiraling the opposite direction that make their way into bigger and bigger circles. Ooh, wonderful. And then when you're ready, we'll stand on our block again. This time the other leg is standing, and just allow the leg that was just drawing the circles to swing back and forth. If you're doing this without a block, just kind of lean towards your standing leg so the swinging leg has some room to officially swing. I should use this as a thumbnail. It's too funny. All right, and when you're ready, we'll just shake that leg off, shake everything off. One more casual bounce, and then let's open up the hips.
Yeah.
How you feel about hip roll?
Sounds great. Step
Roll
out
us some hips.
to about, I don't know, max width distance or however wide you'd like to stand up. And then we're gonna just roll the hips.
Really explore your range here. If it means, I'll show you from the side, if it means bringing the hips way forward and way back, that's fine. See what it's like, and take it at your own pace. I'm going kind of fast because I'm keyed up today, but you could go very slow and examine every little part of this hip roll, see what you can learn from it.
Have we switched yet?
I don't think we
Let's
have.
do that. Let's switch the direction.
This is wonderful.
The
I
light.
love it. Oh, maybe we just do this for the next 45 minutes, eh? But no, we are not going to do that for the next 45 minutes. We're going to take the feet to slightly less than mat's width. So my feet are maybe about a foot apart from each other, maybe a little less than that. I'm going to bring one hip forward and back, and then the other hip forward and back. So I'm figure eighting with my hips here. And then I think I might try a backstroke as I do this. If this makes sense to you, go for it. Feel free to backstroke. If it makes no sense at all, Just keep the hands on the hips and let the hips do the motion. You might find the shoulders just working their way back, in which case you put the hands on the shoulders, see what that feels like. A little chicken winging back stroke. That's an option too. Really allow the spine to kind of snake back and forth here. Even if you're just working with the hips, you'll feel that sort of snaking action of the lumbar spine, the low back. It's so good for us to maintain that mobility. And then when you're ready, we'll just shake it off again, resetting. Hands back on the hips. This time you want to see the other side.
Yeah, so this is like you're taking your hips from back to front. So we're just doing the figure eight, just going in the opposite direction. And then maybe you find your arms go with it as well. Now we're swimming forward.
Weaken my way across this floor. We did hips, we did legs, we didn't do knees. So let's bring feet to touch. You can shake it all off to reset a little bit, especially if you get dizzy at any point. Feel free to just shake it on down. So I'm bringing my big toes to touch here. There's a little bit of distance between my heels. That's one option. So feel free to have that distance there. So really the outsides of my feet are more parallel. I'm going to bend my knees, place my hands on the knees, do this little Josephine Baker dance that I love so much, where I'm drawing circles with my knees here. Ooh, and maybe hearing a little cracking and popping, totally normal. And then when you're ready, we'll switch directions. You might be finding that your ankles are cracking in this. That's totally normal, totally okay. Because we're getting a little bit of a rotation for the ankles here just by default. I have a teacher, I think Vivian, who calls it, you get that for free. So we get the knee rotation, but also the ankle rotation for free, for what that's worth. And then we'll shake it all off again. You want to do neck stuff.
So, yeah, we can do
We
that.
can do that on the ground?
On the ground.
Then do we have any other standing practices? Arms? Want to do some arm stuff?
Yeah, might as well flap our arms a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of this.
Let's do then the wrist rolls because they are so wonderful. So we'll take the thumbs into the palms, fold the fingers around the thumbs, and then
Roll the wrists. Keeping the arms long, shoulders relaxed down, taking the arms up. And when you get to the top, just take them down the front of the body.
ooh, I've got a good one, per request. Swinging palm tree.
Okay, and then let's switch the direction. And we'll take the wrists, take the arms up and down the side. And then when you get to the bottom, you can just open up your hands, flap out your arms. We'll do palm tree next.
Swinging palm tree.
So arms out into a T. Feet are about hips width distance, parallel. Arms in a T. Relax the shoulders. We're going to inhale, reach long, bending to one side. Take your hands like you're grabbing a big beach ball. Exhale back through center. Inhale, going to the other side, grabbing that giant beach ball. Nice long side, back to center. Imagine lifting up and out and over.
And as you inhale, really feel that inhale happen along the side body. That's why we're inhaling and bending, exhaling, coming back to standing. Inhaling and bending, exhaling, coming back.
Yeah, really root into that foot that you're bending away from. So you get that big stretch all the way down from the foot all the way up the side. Side stretches. Good stuff.
Delightful. There's more of this coming. think Garuda squats might be nice too.
Okay, let's do this. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, right. Next time arms come out into a T, let's step the feet nice and wide again. So it's kind of like we're a 5-pointed star here. Arms can come down. Feet can point out at like sort of a 45-degree angle. And then when I inhale my arms up high above my head as I squat down. I'll show you real quick from the side what that looks like. So as I squat down, I'm not really sticking my tail out like this, but I'm actually kind of keeping it as tucked as I can. And then I exhale, stand up. Sorry if you were holding your breath there. So inhale, squat, keeping the spine long. Exhale, stand back up. Inhaling, exhaling. Another thing to watch out for here is as you squat down on the inhale, don't let the knees come in like this. Really try to keep them out if you can. Exhale, standing. So we want a nice open body as we do this. Inhaling and exhaling. The arms act like a pump here a little bit, but let's see what it's like if we switch directions. So next time you stand up, inhale here, standing with the arms down by the side. Exhale, squat down. Arms come up. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhaling, squatting down. And then next time you inhale, come up to standing. We'll just shake it all off again. And let me see how much time we have. Oh, it's 7:30. We could have such an incredible smorgasbord of hip openers that I kind of suggest we come down to the ground now. If you wish to do a sun salutation, you may. Otherwise, we'll take the feet kind of mat width distance and we're going to come into a squat. So we'll inhale the arms up above the head. And then exhale, come down into your squat, hands in prayer. If you like to have a block under your booty when you do this, it would look like this. Oh, all right. I've got a seat. How nice is that? And if you are using a block, it can be small, medium, or high, or large for the height of the block. But the important thing here, whether or not you're sitting on a block or what, is that your heart is open. So this is not my squat. It's Gollum squat. I don't need to be Gollum today. So today I keep my spine nice and long, like, I don't know, someone else, like Legolas. Even at work, I think would have a longer spine than Gollum in the squat. So we're just gonna hang out here in the squat for a second. And if this is really uncomfortable for you, by all means, feel free to just sit on the block. But if this is comfortable for you, and you want to twist, feel free to place your right hand on the ground in front of you and inhale that left arm up, looking back behind you over your left shoulder. If you feel like you've got more, you can take that right arm around the right knee and grab the right hand with the left behind your back. So I'll show you what this looks like from behind. Like that. And this is a nice, deep, deep twist. But if it's really too much, you can always just keep the arms open and look up over your left shoulder like this. That's fine too. And then when you're ready, place both hands in front of you on the ground. We're gonna just lift the hips for a second to give the knees a break. So coming into a forward fold here, maybe bending one knee, bending the other. You can grab opposite elbows, sway side to side, lean forward, lean back, whatever you wanna do here. Yeah, shake it out while you're in your forward fold. That's a really wonderful casual balance for all of us casual balancers out there. And then hands can come back on the ground, feet come a little bit wider. Place the block if you need it to be under your booty. We'll come back into our squat. And this time, the left hand comes out. So we're in front of our left foot here. Right arm comes up. And I might just stay here looking up over my right shoulder. Or I'm gonna bend my left arm, bend my right arm, and grab hands behind my left hip and still look over that right shoulder if you are in the bind here.
And keep breathing.
Oh yeah, don't forget to breathe.
Never stop breathing.
Never stop breathing. Never quit.
Unless we're doing breath retention.
Then stop breathing, but don't die.
But we're not doing that right now.
Yes, we are doing that right now. We're doing breath non-retention. All right, and then again, both hands right in front of you. This time we'll just roll back to seated. And at this point, we enter into an epic smorgasbord of hip openers. So if you'd like to sit on a folded up blanket when you do hip openers, like forward folds and things like that, take your time to sit on the blanket. You want to tag team this as well?
Sure.
All right, I've got a few good ones today, actually. We're gonna do some stuff we don't usually do. But let's start off with something we do usually do, which is staff posture. So I'm sitting on my little blanket here. If you have very loose hamstrings, in other words, if it's very easy for you to touch your toes, don't worry about the blanket. If it's very hard for you to touch your toes, like it is for me, I'm actually gonna bend my knees slightly, inhale my arms up above my head, and then hinging. Brian's gonna show this so well, because look at his position. He's like right, like perpendicular to the camera perfectly. Hinging from the hips here, we're gonna come forward. So it's not a forward fold like this. It's a forward fold, oh, this is as far as I get, like that. So you might find that you don't go that far down, that's okay. Keeping the openness through the heart here is what we're going for. And if you want to make this a shoulder opener, I'll show you from the back. You can. Ooh, I know, here it comes, it's real. You can either grab opposite elbows behind your back like this, and then come forward. That in itself is hard, or it looks like Brian's already doing it. You can take hidden prayer. So I bring my fingers together and work my hands up my back to grab a prayer behind my back like this. Here we go. You can see, and then fold forward from here. So that will keep my shoulders quite open. As you can see here, my forward fold, whether or not my knees are bent, it's really hard for me to arch over too much when I have a bind behind the back like that. So however that's best accomplished for you, by all means accomplish that forward fold. If you want to use a strap here too, you just have the strap around the balls of the feet. But again, bring the shoulders back. So we'll hang out here for another few breaths.
Yes.
Where are we going?
Inhale, we're gonna come up. Let's go ahead and take that right leg and bend it. We're gonna put the right foot right inside the left thigh. You turn the upper body just slightly so that it's facing in front of the left leg that's out in front of you. You can use a strap here if you want, but you don't have to. We're going to do the same sort of forward fold thing, but this time with our legs in this position. And again, we're going to try to keep the upper body straight, try to come down with a straight body, not hunch into it to get to the fold, but rather fold with a straight back, fold towards the fold in the middle of the body.
And if you want to take that arm bind.
And yes, you can always do the arm bind or the hidden prayer again in this position as well. And so, no matter what you're doing, we're going to take a deep inhale, and then on it. And if you're doing the hidden, if you're already grounding your back, you won't take your hands overhead. But if you're not, inhale and then exhale, fold from the middle, and then we can fold towards that outstretched leg.
A little, I don't want to call this a pro tip because I'm far from a pro, but a little experience tip is to actually draw that left leg back as you lean forward here. So it's almost like I'm like sort of just using my muscles to kind of bring that whole left leg back into my left hip and then come forward from there. It gives me just a little bit more of a stretch, but also a little bit more traction in this forward fold.
And then, how much time are we at?
I feel like it might be fun. We've been doing so much Asana recently. It might be fun to throw one of these in. So this is a neat one that we hardly ever teach. It's from the Ashtanga series, I believe. I'm so far from an Ashtanga yogi. It's not even funny. But what I remember is that, here, I'll show you from the front, Brian shows from the side. So I'm bending my right knee. My left leg is coming straight out as it was in the last posture. My right foot is about a hand's width between my left thigh and itself, I guess. And then from here, same thing, I'm gonna fold forward and reach around my right bent knee with my right arm and grab my right hand with my left behind my back, continuing to fold forward. This is, I believe, Asana A, but I'm not sure. So Brian's showing that from the side, I'm showing from the front. Now in this posture, there will be a little bit of rounding of the back here, totally fine. And then maybe a side stretch would be nice. So let's come back out of this. And again, place the sole of the right foot against the inside of the left leg. And I'm actually going to open out my left leg a little bit to the left. And there are a few different ways to come into this posture. And since we got the time, we've got a lot of fun ones actually. So Brian, why don't you show the traditional and then I'll show the weird stuff.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just like this. So now this is slightly different than Janu Shirshasana where it's like this. Now we're opening that leg out a little bit more. And we're gonna do the same fold, but we're opening the body this time. So you can take your left hand alongside of or even underneath of your right or your left leg. I mean, inhale the right leg up alongside of the body. And on an exhale, we're gonna fold, but keep that twist. So keep twisting open to the right. You almost can envision that you're trying to turn your upper body to face the ceiling.
So in other words, we aren't going like this, because we just kind of did that one. We're going
like that.
Like this.
Also, sometimes some people like to you could take a right hand to the right shoulder to sort of help you spin that shoulder open, and then straighten the arm.
And if you find, this is a really easy posture for you, you can grab that left big toe and kind of open out like this, which, I mean, it's not an easy posture for me, so you have to use your imagination there, but that is an option. Or if you have real nice, long, stretchy arms, you can grab the outside of the left foot and then come out from under like that. That's another option. If this is a super easy posture for you and you want to go a little bit deeper, we can actually take that right foot and bend it out like this. So this is kind of like a sort of modified split. And then I'm gonna walk my hands forward here and take my left hand and reach under in between my legs to grab my right ankle or my right heel, and then reach over with my right arm. So it's a big, crazy twist. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but you'll know it if you got it. And if you don't worry, there's so many other options. So when we're ready, we'll come out of this. And actually, let's all bend our right knee like this. So if your foot is like this, put the sole of the right foot on the mat or the floor, and then take the inside of the right foot to your side so that the right knee is bent on your side like this. I'm gonna bend the left leg and put the sole of the left foot either right on the inside of this right thigh or bring it into half lotus like that. From here, if you want to go further, if you don't want to go further, let's see, if you want to go further, go like that. If you don't want to go further, you can take your left arm, reach behind you for your right hip. It's okay if it doesn't get all the way there. Take your right hand, place it on your left knee. Lots of lefts and rights here. Good thing I'm not baked. I'm going to look over my left shoulder. This is called mermaid. And then look over my right. So there's a twist in all sorts of different directions here. My body is twisting to the left, but my head is twisting to the right. So a little bit of a neck stretch here. And if you are in half lotus, you're grabbing your left toes with your right hand. You can also draw that right foot closer to the hip if you want. Oh, how graceful. That is why some people call this mermaid. And then when you're ready, we'll unwind. Take the legs out in front of you. Want to do half Lord of the Fishes, maybe?
Yeah.
All right, so from here,
We were here.
let's take the right foot and bend the knee
Yes.
and place the sole of the right foot on the outside of the left leg. You can either keep your left leg extended like this, or you can roll off to the left, bend the left leg, and sit back down so my right hip is kind of sitting almost on my left heel here. And I'm really gonna push down through the toes of the left foot. You want to teach this one since you teach it so good? You want me to keep chit-chatting?
No, we're all lined up. You can, or whatever. We're all.
If you talk.
If we're all lined up like this, keep pressing into that big toe mound of the foot in front of you. We're gonna inhale. You can just grab underneath of your right knee with your left arm, while you can reach forward with that right arm. And then we're gonna go reach up and around as we twist open to the right. We're gonna take that right hand down behind us. So let's check in with everything. So let's drop those shoulders down. Let's keep pressing into the big toe mound of the foot in front of us. We're gonna turn the head all the way as much as you can comfortably to the right, and then turn your eyes and look as far as they can to the right.
And then if you want to go a little bit more and you want to get more of that extra torque that I was talking about at the beginning of class, we'll inhale our left arm up, bend the left elbow, and bring it on the outside of the right knee. Use that as a lever. Oh, this looks so crazy on the video. Look at that crazy line right there. So use that as a lever to push yourself further into the twist. Really twisting first from the belly, then the heart, then the shoulders, which are staying nice and open, no gollum backs here, and then looking over your right shoulder. If this is easy for you, you can straighten your left arm and reach around and grab your right ankle. Yeah, that looks crazy, right?
Not even close.
It's pretty weird and pretty hard. If you have hyper flexible elbows like I do, it might be easy.
Have to bend backwards.
Yeah, exactly. My elbow is bending backwards. But if it's easy for you to do that and the elbow is bending backwards, really try not to hyperextend those joints. So when my elbow goes like this, I really want to keep a slight micro bend in it as I do this. And of course, if you have a bind to this, you could take that too. But I can't demo that. Maybe Brian can.
Whoa.
Can you demo the bind? Yeah, you got it. Yes, so that is what the bind looks like. He's got one arm going through the hole. Oh wait, maybe I do have it too. And then here, I'll turn around so you can kind of see what I'm doing there. And then I'm reaching behind my back with my right hand to grab my left fingers that have gone through my little leg hole here. Oh, and then you stand up and you do the hokey pokey, and we do it all again on the other side. Just kidding about the standing up.
No,
so
we just take our legs out in front of us and
unwrap.
Shake them out. You can flap them like windshield wipers, flap your feet like windshield wipers.
Very casual flapping.
And then we're gonna do that whole sequence on the other side. So this time we're
gonna before we do it, let's just do one
oh, yeah, that's a good
down
idea.
angle posture because it's a wonderful reset for the hips here. So if you have two blocks and you want to use them under the knees for this, you can, but you don't have to. The feet are soles together coming towards the hips. I'm going to open out the feet with my hands like I'm opening the pages of a book. And then from here, my spine is nice and long. I'm just going to gently float forward. And we're going to be here for a little while. So make this as comfortable for you as you can. If you're just this far forward, great. That's plenty. But if you find that you want to go deeper and deeper, or you find yourself going deeper and deeper as you fold forward with that nice long spine, you can do like Brian. Place a block under the forehead. You might find that the block actually needs to go down in height as you come forward. And if you find yourself very far forward, feel free to take a hand under the thigh and take the thigh meat back on each side. So you're really walking yourself forward that way and creating length in the hips. Breathing deep. time do we need to get out of this posture? Is it official? What do you think?
Sure, why not?
We had enough of this stuff?
I hang out here all day.
Well, let's hang out another few breaths, just because, why not? If you're really comfortable here, look at my crazy spine. If you're really comfortable here and you want to really test your forward fold, you can grab your hands behind your back like this. This is real. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale back up. Put the hands under the knees. Slowly lift the knees. Place the hands behind you. Soles of the feet on the mat. Just let the knees rock side to side. Enjoying the little symphony of floorboards beneath you if you're practicing in a nice old environment like we are. Otherwise, enjoy the bliss of a quiet room if you got that. Now we'll do the other side.
So coming back into staff posture first for a second, just to set up your, just establish everything. So just sitting up nice and tall, shoulders nice and broad, a long back, we're not slouching at all here. Legs out in front of you, feet are activated. We're gonna this time bend the right leg, put the right foot. Is that right? No, left. That's right. I'm
This time we're
all
on left.
messed up. Left
There are
bend
so
leg.
many left
And the left leg with the left foot on the inside of
I
the
can't even.
right thigh. And again, we're going to do the same fold. So however you did it before with the, if you did a bind or a hidden prayer, or you used a strap, whatever you do, we're going to inhale nice and tall. And then we're going to exhale and fold towards that right leg. Only coming as far forward as is comfortable for you. Keeping the back straight, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed, relaxing down the back. Heart's coming forward here. We're not rounding, we're not hunching over.
And again, the anything but pro tip, you can even like take your arms to that extended right leg if you want and pretend that you're just drawing the right leg back into the right hip. And, ooh, hello, as you do this forward fold. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up and do Marichiyasana A again. So again, this time we keep that left knee bent, right leg is extended out in front of us. Left foot is about one hand's width between, well, there's one hand's width between the left foot and the right thigh. And then we reach forward with the left arm, wrap it around the left knee and grab the left hand with the right. I forgot to mention on the other side, if you want to use a strap for this, that's fine too. It's okay if the left hip comes off of the ground here. Apparently this is a variation of the yoga squat, so a little bit of hip degrounding is totally okay here. And then from here we can fold forward. It's all right if you have a little bit of an arch in your back. Breathing deep. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up. This time again, placing the sole of the left foot against the inside of the right thigh.
And then you can take your right hand underneath or next to the right leg. We're gonna inhale the left arm up and keeping the body spinning to the left, we're gonna fold towards that right leg. And again, same options as we had on the other side. What were those options? Oh, one was the line.
Well, there's so many choices here. Like if this is very easy for you, you can always grab the right foot with the left hand and peek out from under there. As you can see, for me, it's not so easy because my shoulder comes down pretty far. But if you really want to work on trying to get your back towards your knee, which is maybe next lifetime for many people, we'll really kind of use the back of that left upper arm or that right upper arm to kind of push in to the side of the right thigh here. Take the left hand to the left shoulder and turn it open, then reaching over. That might help you to kind of open out the heart. If this is an easy posture for you and you want to go into that bind, we'll bend the left knee, bringing the sole of the left foot to the ground, and then bringing the left foot behind us. So it's this little Michael Jackson split almost, although I think he could do a real split, but whatever. This is my approximation of the split. From here, I'm going to walk my hands forward a little bit, coming up onto my left knee and my right heel. I'm going to reach my right arm in between my legs, come to sit again, grabbing my left heel or ankle with my right hand, and then reaching for that right foot with my left arm. So that's how you would do that with a bind. If it doesn't make any sense, don't worry. I've only seen it taught once or twice. And then from here, we'll inhale back up. And if your foot is still connected to the inside of your right thigh here, we're all going to bend the left leg and bring the sole of the left foot to the ground. Then take that left foot to the side and let the left knee bend in front of you for mermaid. From here, we bend the right knee, bring the sole of the right foot either to the inside of the left thigh here like this, or if it's easy for you to do half lotus, we'll take that right foot in half lotus, reach around with the right hand and grab for either the right hip or the right toes if your foot is in lotus. Left hand comes to right knee. We turn and look all the way over our right shoulder, and then that counter turn, we take our head and look over our left shoulder. So my shoulders are turning to the right, my head is turning to the left. Here I am in mermaid posture. Sitting on that rock in Copenhagen with the sea spray bashing against my chest. How very romantic for someone. And then when you're ready, we will unwind our mermaids. Take the legs out in front of you, shake them out a bit, and this time, keep the right leg straight. Again, bending the left knee, this time bringing the sole of the left foot to the ground on the outside of the right knee. And we will do a seated spinal twist.
So either straight left leg, or I'm sorry, right leg, or you can put that right foot next to the left hip. Everything feels like it's grounding okay. If not, keep the legs straight. We're going to grab just below the left knee with the right arm, right hand. We're going to reach forward with that left arm and then up, over, turning to the left, put it down behind you. And then turn, relax shoulders down, keep pressing into the big toe mound of the front foot. Head turns all the way to the left, eyes turn all the way to the left if you want a little extra twist. You can inhale that right arm up to the sky and then exhale it down on the outside of the left leg.
And then if you're a binding type, maybe Brian's got the bind. I definitely don't have it. Woo, on this side.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
And then also if the bind is easy for you and this is all easy for you, you can use the sort of twist to grab the left ankle, which is on your right side, super confusing, with your right hand. But if you find yourself doing this whole, crazy, what do they call that? Hyperextending of the elbow. Try to not do that if you can. It would be a slight bend of the right elbow here. Clearly not my strongest posture, but it feels good, right? Especially if the twist is really coming from the belly, then the heart, then the shoulders, then the neck, then the eyes, if you want to take it to that level. Breathing deep, maybe feeling that belly press into the left thigh as you inhale. He's turkey.
Mm-hmm. So you can unwind on an exhale. Did we take a counter twist last time?
We didn't, but let's do one anyway.
Do a
This
counter
is so
twist.
great. So we'll counter twist by bending over to the right. Oh, that's nice.
Now we'll take the legs out in front of us again. Actually, let's just take them out and flap them at first. And then we're going to bring them back to that feet touching position. But this time, let's have them out more, a little further away from the body. So almost make like a diamond shape
So
here.
I'll show it from the side. It's like, yeah, it's almost like there's a square sort of on a diagonal.
And so what we're going to do now is you can bring the knees up a little bit, take the hands underneath the legs, and then if you can do it, you can kind of snake them through. Maybe you come onto the elbows here and come into turtle.
And you might find a bit of rounding in the back here, but one way to kind of unround the back a little bit is to walk the hips back, so you're really kind of coming forward on the hips here. If this is easy for you, feel free to rest your forehead on the arches of your feet here. And if it's really easy for you, you can come up and out of it a bit and then take the arms back behind you like this.
And some people can even
grab
their
their hands
hands,
behind their back.
but I can't do that.
But you're a lot closer than me. That looks great.
Best I can do is grab my own butt.
Hey, that's a start, right? At least somebody's got to
One hand on each cheek.
Somebody's got to grab those cheeks. Best if it's you. So just breathing deep internal. This is a nice inward posture. So see if you can find comfort in the discomfort of this posture.
When you're ready to come out of it, you can just slowly unwind however
You bring the knees up a little bit and smooth the arms out. And let's just roll the shoulders a bit. If your arms are behind you, they feel crazy. And again, we can place those palms behind us, soles of the feet on the mat, back and forth. And if we have time, I'm going to give an optional deep official psoas opener for those who wish to take it to that level. Otherwise, feel free to come into Shavasana. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. All right. Well, maybe next time. Well, here, I'll just show you the psoas opener. If you wish to try it and then find your way to Shavasana on your own, that's great. So I'm going to come and sit on my heels like this. My knees are touching, and to show you from behind here, my feet are like this. I'm actually going to open them out. So, you can't even see. I'm going to open them out so that I'm sitting on the ground. This in itself might be a real challenge for you, in which case you can sit on the block, but it won't really help too much for this. It might help a little bit. So, and I mean, otherwise, of course, come into Shavasana. But if you're sitting on the block or you're not sitting on the block and you're sitting on the ground in between your heels, we're just going to walk back and come to our elbows here. This alone is a very deep psoas opener for some people, and it might even be easier for you to do one leg at a time, in which case you come up, straighten one leg, and then come back down, and then eventually come up, straighten the other leg, and come back down. If it's very easy for you to do something like this, then by all means, allow yourself to come all the way down. If you do that, really keep an eye on your tail. Make sure that you're tucking your tail here and keeping the spine nice and long. And we'll just hang out here for a few minutes. If you're in Shavasana, great. We will join you in just a second. So if you're in Shavasana, arms are out by your side, legs are open. Each foot is pointing out to a corner of the mat. Breath is natural. Eyes are closed, or if you prefer, you can keep them open. And just allow all the beneficial effects of the practice to soak in. And if you're in this reclined psoas opener and you wish to get out, feel free to press on your feet, walk your hands back, take one leg out into Shavasana legs, take the other leg out into Shavasana legs, and meet everybody else in Shavasana.
You can start to bring your awareness back to your body, back to the breath. You can deepen your breath. You can start to move the toes and the fingers, waking up the body, moving the wrists and ankles. You can take a big stretch, so you can take the hands overhead, bring the feet together, press out through the heels, give yourself a big long stretch, and then feel free to take the knees into the chest, hug everything in. You can rock a little bit, however you like. We'll eventually make our way up to seated, so however you like to get there, take your time. When you make your way up to seated, you can press the palms together, touch at heart center. Let's do a couple of rounds of prana mudra really quick. So take the arms out really wide. Inhale, arch and reach forward, reach up. Exhale, pressing down, maybe round the spine if you like. One more time. Inhale, reaching, gathering up. Exhale, pressing down. Last time, we'll reach up. This time, let the palms touch. Exhale, palms to heart center. And if you would like to join us in an Om, feel free. We'll take a deep inhale. Thank you for joining us today. Light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thanks for practicing.
Thank you much.